time to start looking at the 6-inch, the Black Series. And don't worry, there's not that many to consider. It's just, I don't know, a country mile of figures to think about. What's up, guys? Welcome to Mighty Champions. I am John Sargent. You have found the toy hunt. Thank you very much for clicking on the video. We are going to do something wildly different this week. I'm not out there hitting the Walmarts. I'm not out there hitting the Targets. Well, I am. I'm just not filming it so that you guys don't see those empty pegs. So what we are doing this week is I'm going to go into Holocron and I am going to start a collection. I have been gun shy about pulling the trigger on Star Wars because there's just so much Star Wars. But I just love Star Wars. I love the original movies. I love that original trilogy. I think that's going to be my rule, is sticking to the original trilogy. But we're going to go in here. We're going to figure out, what does that mean? Is that Kenner? Is that Black Series? What is it? So before we go inside, why don't you guys subscribe to the channel? Why don't you hit that like button? And leave me a comment. How are you feeling about Star Wars? What are you collecting? All right, let's go inside and see what's up. Oh my God, this is gonna be intense. Okay, so I am kind of a noob when it comes to the Star Wars figure space, but I am an OG Star Wars watcher from back in the day, from the 80s. I was watching the VHSs back when Han shot first. So I don't know, honestly, what it is that I want to collect. So you got your Power of the Force here. I think that I like a 6-inch scale, and I think that I need to stick to the original trilogy just as a rule, as a cost-saving measure. Just to have the bumpers up, just to have some boundaries. So what does that mean? What does that entail? Like, who is that? What am I trying to leave with here today? Like, look at how cool this Power of the Force stuff is. Like, look at how awesome that is. It's amazing. So let's have a look around and see what catches my eye. Episode 1 stuff is really nostalgic to me, just because I was, I don't know, somewhere in high school or something when episode 1 came out. Darth Maul is probably my favorite Star Wars character. So like, I do like seeing the episode 1 stuff. I just don't know if it's something that I want to collect because it is just so vast. And like I said, I've got to have some kind of parameters, and I think I need to cut it off at the original trilogy, but do love seeing episode 1 stuff.
Cry
as I'm kind of looking through these and like seeing kind of the retro carding and the characters and stuff. So I think what I'm searching for today is probably like 2-3 Rebellion members, maybe like a Han and Luke or something like that, and then maybe like Vader and a Stormtrooper to get me started. But we just got to figure out what line that's going to be. I don't think I've actually seen these before. This is pretty dope. Maybe I can get away with a smaller scale. Maybe. These are really cool. So the other thing I don't know is, do I want to have a loose display or do I want to keep them on card? I am planning to rearrange some of the shelving in my house to open up a lot more shelf space for loose figures for like display, like kind of the way you guys have seen my Marvel Legends displayed, kind of in action stance. And the reason being is so that I can do things like this, so that I can open up to Star Wars and Ninja Turtles and some of the other stuff that I've wanted to collect and just haven't had the space for. Time to start looking at the 6-inch, the Black Series, and don't worry, there's not that many to consider. It's just, I don't know, a country mile of figures to think about. I could tell you what it's not gonna be, which is that, whoever the heck that is. See Lando. Could be Lando. Might need a Han. Kind of feeling like some of the main cast of the first 3 movies, but who is that? Like, which versions of them? Because I'm kind of a one and done collector, like per character. So like, let's say Luke Skywalker, for instance. Which version of Luke Skywalker do I want? Which C-3PO would I want? Which R2-D2? Like, this one has the silver leg. Those are kind of the things going through my mind as I'm looking at 4.5 miles of awesome Star Wars figures. Like, so for Luke Skywalker, this is obviously an incredibly significant moment at the end of New Hope. That's also the cover of the what do you call it, comic books and things like that, so that's definitely one that could be considered. But at the same time, you've got this awesome scene from Empire, and that also comes with Yoda, so maybe that's my Luke Skywalker. I can tell you that it's not this Luke Skywalker. That is for certain. Like, is this it right here? Is that the lineup? Oh, that's Kenner. Is it Kenner? That's very cool. Do I need this guy? Might need that guy. And then some of the newer Black Series, like, okay, so let's say I got that Luke Skywalker we were just looking at, but I really like this Leia, but this Leia doesn't go with that Luke. So then do I choose the ones from a specific scene that like go together, or just the ones that I like? Or does something here scream to me so badly that I base everything off of that? Am I a psychopath and I'm putting way too much thought into it? that could also be the case. So here we have Vader, New Hope. So is this the Vader that I need? Pretty good looking lightsaber. I think that's probably for sure. If you're starting a Star Wars collection, you probably gotta have Darth Vader to start off with. So that's heavy consideration right there. Man, this place is so unbelievably cool. All right, now we got some deluxes, some big boys. Got homie from Fallen Order, Rogue One, Phantom Menace, Muddy Mandalorian. This is probably right after he, let's see. The Mandalorian is battle-worn and tight-lipped, a formidable bounty hunter in an increasingly dangerous galaxy who finds a mysterious alien. Yeah, we've seen the show. What moment is that from? There he is. Old Chompers himself. Big pearly whites on his chopper. Just the way everybody always wanted to see him. Ooh, how cool is this? I love that. But that would have to stay in box for sure. No way I could open that. Oh, this is cool too. I'm just a crow. I like shiny things. Very simple, easily entertained. Okay, and then we've got the anniversaries of the movie figures, which I have seen around in stores. It actually makes quite a lot of sense for what I'm kind of looking for. Like, that Leia seems like the Leia, right? They're Kenner. Maybe this is the collection. These are like in the wheelhouse. These are the movies that I'm looking for. These are kind of look at the size of that Chewie. Awesome. I think these ones, the Emperor. Love this Emperor. I think these are making me feel. So I think maybe these are the ones that I'm gonna gravitate towards. Huge Chewie. Love it. Droids. Love this Luke. I think the Luke I want is Return of the Jedi, Jedi Master Luke. So be on the lookout for that. Like, how freaking cool is that? And that. Yeah, these are giving me the feels. So I think these might be the ones, but let's keep on looking. Oh my God. Lucy's. Looks like got some loose vintage which is just my childhood screaming out that it's here and alive. Just 6-year-old me cannot believe what I'm looking at right now. Little Lando. This is unreal. Like, this is 155 years old. Wow. Ewoks. I can't believe that this is like a thing. Looks like Grogu's out here in full force. A whole section dedicated to Grogu. Grogu Pops. Grogu the child. Grogu the stuffed animal. Grogu the lunchbox. Grogu the flamethrower. Grogu the Monopoly. Okay, these are absolutely sick. The books, the cases are the books, and then you got the figure inside of it. Like, this is amazing to me. Like, this like art from the books is so nostalgic. Like, definitely read that. Amazing Darth Maul figure inside. Just so cool. Did not know that these were a thing. Princess Leia. Awesome Leia inside of it. Awesome artwork. Crimson Guard. Like, wait a sec. Wait, is that? No. There's no way that. Okay. But like, that's Bucky O'Hare, right? For those of you as old as me that remember Bucky O'Hare. There's that comic cover I was talking about earlier. Oh, unreal. $30. How is that only $30? These are so cool. Got your merchandise, signs, and wallets and hats. Man, if you like Star Wars, you gotta come to Austin, Texas, because this is basically Disneyland. Well, actually, I guess they got Star Wars at Disneyland, but you get what I'm saying. Patch. Empire patch. Ooh, I might be in the market for a new wallet. There's definitely no shortage of Star Wars in print. 1984 Ewok calendar. Oh my god, that's awesome. So I had the crazy plan of reverse engineering what year matches up with this year and getting retro calendars like every year. I don't know if 1984 works, but you guys can steal that idea from me if you want. Comic books. Man, I tried to keep up with this Marvel comic series and they just started coming out too fast and too furious for my blood, but man, are they good. I know some of the toy soldiers that follow me are Lego people, and this is a Lego Star Wars extravaganza over here. You guys definitely need to get over here and check this out. This is crazy. Look. I'm not really a Lego guy, but even I could tell you that this is off the hook amount of Star Wars Lego stuff to find in one place. Like an entire R2-D2. Loose Black Series. This is actually maybe very helpful in collection starting, is to get some loosies from the Black Series and then kind of go from there. We got the Lando, who we see at every Target. Got Nick Nolte in the house. We got, you know what kids love? You know what kids are really into these days is Bill Burr. Kids are always looking for a Bill Burr action figure. And Bucky O'Hare. Apollo Creed. Okay, so looks like maybe Chewie. Is Chewie complete? I could get a Lucy Chewie. $12.99. I could definitely do that. Bigs. Big old biggins. Got some oh, that's really cool. Electronic Power FX. I think when my girlfriend tells me that I'm playing with dolls, I think that this is what she thinks that I'm doing. When she calls the reviews my dolly show, I think this is what she's envisioning this. When she says, have a good dolly show, I think she thinks I'm playing with one of these. Okay, so these are also very, very cool. I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of them. And I think that I prefer a 6-inch scale. So I think I've pretty much made up my mind about that. But I do kind of love these. They're like almost like the reaction figures, but these little like smaller Kenner, like 3 3/4, like they're also really cool. And they're not crazy expensive or anything like that. So they could be a, like if I ever get like a spinner rack, they could be the next phase, because I do really, really like these a lot. I could be here for hours upon hours upon hours and never even scratch the surface about how many things are inside of this store, and every single one of the things is really, really cool. It's so well organized. It's so clean and like put together. It makes the overwhelming task of looking at Star Wars stuff a little bit less anxious, but you have to see it for yourself. Okay, now we're into the holy grail kind of stuff. Got the Cantina set in the box. That's just incredible. Barbie. Are you Barbie fans? We got the helmets. Not even, like, look at that. That is autographed by Carrie Fisher. Like, unreal. Not for sale. Autographed by Carrie Fisher helmet. This place is a museum, and I love it. Bust, Vader helmet, lightsaber, stormtrooper blasters. I mean, for you like Star Wars like super fanatics, you've never seen anywhere as cool as this. I swear to you. Got the comic book specials. Like, look at that. Look at the coloring on that Vader. Look at like the cover of the OG comic book. Like, it's blowing my mind. Oh, these are from the park. These are Disney from the park. $300 C-3PO. Like, for you huge Star Wars people, this has to be crazy to see all this stuff in one place. like these like wildly collectible figures. The Battlefront 2 game. Not sure why these are like extra pricey, but oh, this like Force Ghost Kenobi. Love it. Star Tours boarding party. Man, I miss the Star Tours ride. Probably isn't actually as good as I remember it, but that is very, very cool. Graded comics. Love the look and just like the graded comics are such a great piece for the wall. I started to collect them and then it just got, I could feel myself getting out of control, so I had to pull the reins. I don't have the self-control to do graded comics because it's an expensive venture and there's just simply too many of them that I love. But how unbelievably cool is this? Like the like retro Star Wars books graded. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that this is just sending them. Like, there's so many of them too. This is wild. Just, it doesn't stop. Okay, we got Power of the Force autographed figures. Peter Mayhew, Jeremy Bulloch, Melissa and Tiffany Kurtz, John Hollis, Certificate of Authenticity, Carrie Fisher. That one is $4,500 if somebody needs it. Like, oh my God, Kenny Baker, Warwick Davis, Billy D. Williams, Mike Quinn. Crazy. Billy D. Williams, Fortuna, Jeremy Bulloch, who's inside the Boba Fett suit, Peter Mayhew. This is so wild. Anthony Daniels. Wow. Wow. We got carded retro Star Wars figures. Like, unfreaking believable. Like, you can see on this one, $2.97 is what it says on there. Like, that's how far back we're talking. Carded retro Star Wars. Like, I didn't think these were a thing. I didn't think I would ever see these like in my life. Like 1977. The ones that come with the coin. 79. The droids. Look at that. So awesome. Okay, we've got loose, graded vintage. Like $80. Like, how unbelievably rad is that? Okay, so here's kind of my thought process for starting this collection. I did find this Chewie loose for very affordable, and I'm noticing that Hasbro and these vintage Kenners are Hasbro, so put that together. I'm sure you guys were ahead of me on that, but the wheels turn slow, but they do turn. And I'm noticing that it's the same one from episode 4, right? Same figure. And it's the same one as over there, but it's different than Return of the Jedi. So there is some differences. So then I'm just thinking, talking it through with Space Mom here at the store, do I collect the cards or do I collect the figures, and do they go together? So kind of what we were talking about was, this is the Han Solo, right? But that Han Solo would not go with that Leia. So if you were going to get that Han Solo, you would have to get that Leia. And if that's the case, then you wouldn't want, say, this Luke Skywalker, because that doesn't go together. It doesn't make any sense. So then maybe I'm keeping them on the card and I'm going movie by movie. But that kind of changes the space, like the space in which I have to collect. So as I'm talking this out with you guys and you're just listening to me ramble, I think I've just come to the conclusion is I'm going to chase down the definitive versions of the characters that go with one another, and go loose. And then if I decide that I want to start having cards, that's when I'll go to 3 3/4. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right, so how unfathomably cool is Holocron? If you're a Star Wars fan and you have the capability of getting to Austin, Texas, you have to go there. What I showed you guys in this toy hunt doesn't even scratch the surface. I could film there for a week and I probably still wouldn't show you everything that's in there, so you have to go check it out for yourself. I ended up getting Lucy Chewbacca, because it is the same Chewbacca and it's complete. It's got the blaster and the other thingamabob. So it is what was in the box. I'm going to open it anyways, and it's cheaper. So that just made sense. And obviously to go with him, I went with Han Solo from Empire. This is the Han Solo. I am going to hold off on Vader and Luke and Leia and some of the other characters while I decide what is the version of those characters, which also pairs with what I've already got. So you guys can see I am insane at this stuff. My brain just, I have rules, man, and I have to develop rules. So that's the way that I work. But get yourself down to Holocron. Okay, I was also pounding the streets this week at Walmart and Target and other places looking for Marvel Legends, looking for WWE Elite figures, and it's just hard out there right now. It's honestly depressing and terrible. You guys are going through the exact same thing, so I didn't want to bring you guys down, but rest assured, we will find Monday Night War Series 3, and when we do, the rafters will shake and the grounds will open. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss that. Hit the like button, because if you made it this far, obviously you like this video, and definitely leave me a comment. What did you see that caught your eye at Holocron? What are you out in the streets looking for? I need to know. So definitely shout it out in the comments. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll catch you next week. Peace.